Alrighty.
Not sure I can carry much more.
Sorry, my my family's been sick for a couple of days and I've been having to take care of them. So I kind of forgot where we left off. Looks like I was processing a bear indoors. Okay, so are all these big pieces? Yeah, what happened? Did he walk right up on our doorstep? I don't remember. Dude, you really don't want to. I don't know if he's going to keep coming or if he's going to turn around. It doesn't matter. Looks like we're kind of low on rifle bullets. I mean, pistol bullets.
This pack is become heavy.
Sounds a lot worse out there than it is, huh? That one's only 25 minutes. Actually, that'll be fine. Oh, okay, it got worse. Say, I thought it was close to full. There's no way we harvested a bear here all at once. I gotta have a snack-sized piece here somewhere. Nope. All full-size pieces. Guess we could always do more water in that one. Normally I would be complaining, but I kind of want to burn some time up. I know we're right at 400 days somewhere. I think right under it. You know, I think I might save the rest of that raw bear meat for country stew or whatever. Alright. It looks like we're going to be taking a me day. Do we have coffee and stuff? Coffee, tea. We can wait. No rush. It is 10 cups though, we can't let that one go bad. Starting to be kind of an impressive bookshelf. Man, I really need to base out of the basement. I don't know if those fuses will ever be used for anything in the game or not. But we'll hang on to them just in case something gets added. Yeah, I mean, do I have an axe on me? Yeah. I have a knife. I don't know what tool it wanted me to use, but it was acting like I didn't have one. Alright. Let's go upstairs. Feel like I gotta once over everything again now that stuff is re-popped for some reason. One of the other places that it looked like stuff repopulated was in the Miltons, the old lady's house. Like I thought that a pot appeared on the countertop in the kitchen. And some of the kitchen was unsearched, and there was some food in the pantry and stuff like that, like after I'd been there 2 or 3 times. And I thought it was weird at the time, but I'm wondering if that repopped too. I might have to go back and look at some of the early videos and see what's going on. Nothing is in the yellow. What about my stuff? Stuff is pretty good. Alright. No, that's it. Okay. I always wondered like if there's a volume 2 or not. Like I never really paid attention before. Like I always knew that it said that, but I didn't know if like half of them were volume 2 or not. Like I know that it doesn't treat it any differently, but I just wondered for just knowledge purposes. Alright, let's get out of here. I guess we could head over to Coastal Highway and start doing it, but I feel like that's kind of jumping the gun a little bit. We haven't been to Bleak Inlet in a really long time. But that's over. That's off the ravine and the keg. So we'd have to go to Mystery Lake and then all the way across Mystery Lake to near where the dam is. Go onto the ravine there, go down the rope. Probably the fastest way. Let's head towards Coastal Highway, and if I don't want to do it, we can do something else. Maybe we'll get over there and do some busy work, do some fishing or something, and keep us busy for a couple of days. Get firewood, stuff like that. We'll pretend the little lady's living out of the garage. Be her indentured servant. If I seem a little bitter, I've just been taking care of people for 3 or 4 days. Just kind of have no more stuff to give, you know what I'm saying? What the hell? Oh, that's the jerry can. It's going, right? Not coming? Yeah, that guy's looking rough. What if we should just take him to... we had one back there, right? I saw it at the top of the stairs. Yeah. We talked about doing fishing anyway. Let's just take it with us. Yeah, let's do some busy work over there for a couple of days in game. And, stock the larder and stock the firewood, get some water cooking, that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think, I don't think there's a 6-top stove on that whole map. And I don't think 4-top stoves exist. Oh no, yeah they do. Don't they? Is there one 4-top? I don't think so. That's something I need to write Hinterland about too, is that when the power kicks on, the electric stove should work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the only reason I've never based out of Jackrabbit Island or the other house out there on the island. It's too far, man. Well, I mean, it's too far. That's one of the reasons. But there's no cooking place in either one of those places. There's not a fireplace or a potbelly stove. I don't see power lines going out there either. I don't know how they kept warm. I guess it may have been in the lake. Look, I know that's a thing. My power line is buried. I think my house is just far enough from the road so that they'd have to put a pole in or something on my property, and they don't want to do that. It's cheaper just to run it underground. I don't mind since I'm in a hurricane zone. It's 100 feet less wire to break somewhere, you know? I think I might look around to see if there's independent weather pictures that I could get that's not from the Weather Service or any of these other places, so I can start comparing these hurricanes side by side with what they're putting out, because I just don't trust it anymore. Having the eye of a category 2 go directly over my house and
Jeez, this is cold.
me be able to step outside basically and
Looks like I survived another night.
not feel any wind is just bizarre. I think they said the highest wind gust recorded in my town was 50 miles an hour. You can always tell when they start to panic when they're like, because all summer they'll be like, oh, this will be the worst hurricane season ever. And then they're like, oh, we're 80% way through the season and there's only been one named storm. The other ones are just kind of made up named storms that we kind of put a name on when we shouldn't have. I think they start naming, before they only named hurricanes, but then I think they moved to naming tropical storms now, and that's why they're always like, oh, this is the 17th named storm. Tropical storms don't count, okay? They don't count. Stop trying to make them count. They're not fetch. And anyway, there's one out there in the Gulf now headed to Panama City, I think.
It's goddamn freezing.
Panhandle of Florida. Good people. Good people. If you want Florida with their weather and everything else, but you don't want to learn Spanish or have to deal with, basically it's the South, but in Florida, go to the Panhandle. Got him. Chump. Stella got a groove back, ain't nobody telling. He's all like, y'all could have warned a wolf. I can't remember what's up here. I don't think I can get to the coal mine from here, but I can't rightly remember what's up here. I think you can go, like if you shimmy down the wall, you end up here from the coal mine, but I don't know if there's anything up here to do. Oh, that looks bizarre. Oh, it's the thing I dug up. I thought it was a deer with weird antlers for a minute, like... Yeah, I thought we were like looking at the butt of the deer and like the antlers were on the far end. Like right here, like the legs are at the bottom and then the antlers are on the right. Just kind of see it? Like I thought it was a graphics glitch where the legs weren't drawn in right or something. We still do have one of those on Coastal Highway 2 up near the tower that we need to try to get. How long I've been cold? Not long. I didn't even notice. I got all my clothes on? Oh no, I gotta ask these questions. Do that. Don't know about that one. Technically, not all the caves are map points. Actually, probably like less than half. I think they have to be named. Go warm up for a minute. Won't hurt nothing. Yeah, see, you can't get there. You gotta go all the way back over here to get up. 3 caves back here. Interesting. I'll have to map that area one day. So I went looking at the map about the Polaroids, and it seems like a whole lot of the maps have 2 Polaroids. Like a whole lot. And I never really noticed that before. I think half the time I've played this game, though, they weren't there. They weren't in the game. They're relatively new. Past 2 years or so, I guess. They definitely weren't in there the first time I got the mapping trophy. That was hardcore. That was bad stuff. Of course, now I think there's more maps that you have to do. So there's a little trade-off there. Polaroids will let you do big swaths, and you can look on the chart and see which ones you're missing now. But you got 3 or 4 more maps to do, so it probably works out evenly. Especially since sometimes you don't find the Polaroids, or you can't or don't go map them. And sometimes you just can't figure out how to get up to some of those places. You're like, what? I remember doing that, Karn. This run. Here's a little tidbit for you, most people don't know. Motion sensors on security lights and stuff like that, going all the way back like to the 80s and stuff, they've never detected motion. They're not motion lights. They're heat lights. They have thermal imaging. So if they see a heat signature, they
Oh, so cold.
they turn the switch on or whatever, or they start recording or whatever they're supposed to do. And they can be beaten by the Mylar thermal blankets. You just have to make sure like your fingers aren't showing. You gotta like grip it on one side and then hold it between you and the camera and walk slowly. I mean, I would still walk slowly. I wouldn't walk fast. But yeah, as long as it's sort of like the Harry Potter cloak. Like as long as your fingers, your face, or your legs aren't showing, it should not go off. As long as you're completely behind the thing. And you probably can't hold it too long, you know what I'm saying? Like if you hold if you hold your hands in the blanket too long in the same spot, it's going to get hot and then show, you know? Like so. You probably gotta move your hands around and then go. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that thermal imaging is not expensive. So it's been in cheap security cameras since the 80s. Well, they probably weren't cheap back then. They're cheap now. I mean, you could go to Walmart and get a thermal imaging camera for 20 bucks. It amazes me how some stuff like that is so cheap now. But yeah, you spend all kinds of stupid money on a refrigerator that starts breaking after a year. Everybody I talk to says they wish they could go back in time and buy one of the 1960s refrigerators that lasts for 70 years. And you could probably still find one that some idiot is selling because it doesn't look pretty. But it's already like 70 years old. Like you're not getting it at the beginning of its cycle, you know what I'm saying? Its days are gone. I keep waiting for a rubber band effect to happen with major appliances like that in cars, so that somebody puts out a car that could drive 500,000 miles. Like warranty it. Warranty the parts. Anything that wears out is paid for. Bring it in for regular maintenance. You do your maintenance at the dealership or whatever, so that we know that you're doing it. What's that little graphic bug? That's weird. Yeah, but I saw a video on the mail cats, little mail cars that the mail service uses. I think the Fat Electrician did it. His channel's great, by the way. If you like war stuff, how stuff are made, like planes and jeeps and Medal of Honor recipients and all kinds of military kind of stuff like that. Anyway, Northrop Grumman won the contract to mail to
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
make the mail vehicles, and they all the different companies had to put it through these tests. Like you had to go on like a rough, rugged road test and go like 400,000 miles or something without braking, or 500,000. Like it was a lot, and it showed everything that the vehicles had to do to even qualify to be considered. And I was like, oh my god, I want to buy one of these, but they're not in production anymore. They stopped. They're going to go to electric or something stupid that's not going to work in cold weather. They're going to spend, they're going to give somebody like, some politician's husband or wife or whatever, a no-bid contract or something to make these things. And then in 1 year, or less than a year, after one winter, they'll find out that half of them can't be used in cold weather, and they'll all be thrown in the trash, and they'll have to buy new cars again. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's just a money grab. How come they don't ever do anything small? How come you can't just do it in one town? Or a small state. Do it in Wyoming. Test the new mail vehicles in Wyoming for a year. See how they do. See how much the upkeep is. And then you'll know if it's worth it. Because that's another thing too. How much are they going to gouge you for the upkeep? But yeah, those little mail cats, freaking made by Northrop Grumman. That is so awesome. Trying to decide where I want to go before we actually go there. I do have a whole lot of coal on me. Yeah, let's get rid of this stuff. Let's take it down by the water. Yeah, but I would buy one of those mail cats in a heartbeat. I started looking at them. Like I looked them up to see if I could actually just buy one. You can buy one at like military surplus places and stuff like that. When the post office is done running them into the ground, you can then go and buy one. But I don't want one of those. I want one that I could put 500,000 miles on. Basically, I mean, it's a golf cart that would never ever wear out. Like all these idiots around me have golf carts that they spend $20,000 on. I'm tired of stuff breaking. Yeah, see? Good timing. That's a good segue. Look at me. Look at pro at this. A pro player move right there. You get hurt when you're talking about it. I'm tired of stuff breaking all the time for no reason. When you buy a brand new refrigerator, it should last a year without the LED for the whole life of, you and your son and your grandson. The light will last and not burn out. It's already burnt out. Like, why didn't you just put the screw-in bulb in there, an incandescent? I never remember, like, I think the first 20 years of my life, I think I changed an incandescent bulb out in a refrigerator once. And I have like 2 of these LED strips out in my new fridge already. Like, what was going on? Like, who's doing this? Yeah, they need to have a company that offers. You can't just do it so it's free maintenance because people don't take care of their stuff, right? Like, they could leave the door open and just let the motor burn out because they think they want a new motor or whatever. Like, people abuse it. But you could do free parts. You know what I'm saying? Charge the people for the labor. I would be down with that. I want to say the one we have fire spray painted on this time, the one with the door is like real far out. I want to say it's that one. And so I don't know if I want to do that one or not. I think this one is the closest to shore. I'm just sitting here trying to think if this is the one I normally do. I think I probably normally do that one. That's the one I feel like I normally do. But it's further, so that what that probably means is the past couple of times the door was probably there, or the last real long run I had, and so I got used to going there, or maybe that time and the time I based out the garage, because I've based out there a couple of times. I restocked that entire garage with stuff. It would look beautiful. Like, I wish I would have taken screenshots of it. Oh, you know what? I probably can get them somehow. They're on PlayStation, but I can probably log in and take the screenshots and then download them from computer and then put them up somehow. We can search now. Even though I really wasn't intending to search it. I was just intending to drop stuff in there. Okay, if we still... on this map, we'll just keep one. We ain't gotta keep that many. But yeah, I'd totally buy a male cat, man. No, there are bad parts to it. I mean, they had certain stipulated, like they can't go on the highway really well. Like if you drive it on the highway, they said you feel like you're gonna both be blown away and sort of fly apart at the same time. They're not supposed to be high-speed vehicles. So it's supposed to be like a neighborhood driver kind of thing. Like if you're an old person and you're just trying to go to the doctor's office and back and stuff like that, or picking your kid up from school, dropping them off, stuff like that. That's another thing. I don't think they had more than one seat. But you could probably add one. I bet there's holes on both sides. I bet the holes for the seats are there. But there's no air conditioning in any of them. And the heat is akin to a flamethrower being on the floorboard. Like, it's not supposed to be an efficient heater, it's just supposed to keep you alive. And those people are probably all bundled up anyways. Oh, you know what? That actually makes me laugh, because I didn't even really think about it when I saw it, but the post office had a now hiring thing on their truck. I have never, once in my entire life, I remember the post office hiring. Most people never leave. It's probably all the boomers. Probably all the old boomer mail carriers are finally retiring or dying or whatever and leaving. We haven't done this in a while. It feels so good. I was gonna come out here and go fishing, but we know we going looting. I love me some looting. I'm glad I finally realized that that's what it is. That's why I don't like Interloper, because there's no loot. No endorphins for me. I'm a dwarf at heart, man. You gotta have some loot up in here. Where the gold at? That's funny one time. I didn't even realize it too. I was DMing one time and it was a really high level module, like really high level. That was for a really long game. And so everybody kind of, all the characters and players and everything had known each other for years. Like, they moved like well-oiled machines, like where you don't even really talk about what everybody's going to do. You already know what they're doing, and they're doing it. And well, I never realized it. But I had the module that I ran. It was like it was kind of a short wizard tower. It was like a wizard tower in the middle of a desert, but it was sort of like a tower from like I don't know, like 400 AD or something. Like, it was a sandstone kind of ruin kind of deal. I think it was supposed to have like a lich in it or something from like way back. It wasn't like a modern, Merlin is living in there or something.
I'll take it.
It was supposed to be dilapidated or whatever. But anyway, they had to go into it from the top and then go down through it until they get to the basement or whatever. But they got in there, they went through it without opening any doors, went straight down to the bottom, killed the lich, went straight back up to the top, and left. Like, I didn't realize that if you didn't open any doors, you just go right down to the bad guy, and they're like, no, let's just keep going downstairs, let's do this. Like, so they bypassed like 20 rooms, killed the bad guy, and they went to leave, and I was like, I let my players do stuff like that. If you pull up to the rickety old haunted house and you throw a torch inside, yeah, you're gonna burn it up. Like, it will burn. You're not gonna have anything else to do for the rest of the week because that's what the module is. But if you want to burn it down, I'll go home and figure out where everybody would go, what everybody would do, and what treasure would survive and which ones wasn't. And I literally had a group do that one time, and find a lump of gold and silver or whatever where a chest was, and that was your reward. But yeah, if you want to burn down the module, now if you do it every week, that's going to annoy me because I still got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I let people do stuff like that. But yeah, they went straight down to the bottom, killed the guy, went straight back up to the top, and they were like preparing to leave and everything. And I was like, well, you guys do understand that is the module for the day, right? Like, that is what you're supposed to do. I don't care if you leave. You can certainly leave. But there's not going to be a module magically appear in town for something for you to do. And they were like, we could go into town and have a me day. We'll just go into town, get in some trouble, or, not really a module, but, get in bar fights or whatever. Because they hadn't done anything like that in like 10 levels where you just, do nothing. Buy armor, haggle, garbage like that. But I was like, sure, like, yeah, no problem. And I also, one of the things I learned DMing a long time ago, your mailbox is facing the wrong way, sir. It's supposed to be facing the road, sir. Mail cats are good, but they ain't that good. You gotta help them. But one of the things I do too is that I don't automatically give people the treasure. Like, if they don't find it, if there's a secret door there that is so well hidden that they don't find it, but they don't find it. Like, I'm not just going to give you the treasure. Like, sorry, like, either you missed your roll or you didn't look, or usually I don't leave it to dice. Usually I do it to whether or not you're thinking about it or not. Like, if you're in a 20th level module, the bad guy's not gonna just have all his crap laying in a treasure room somewhere. They're more creative than that. Like, you have to look at the chandelier and realize that some of the chandelier is diamonds. Because he hid his diamonds in the chandelier so that people wouldn't find him. Stuff like that. You gotta use your brain a little bit. But I will always have the treasure in the world. And so, like, one time in a long campaign, like, it was a pretty hard module. It was probably like a 3rd level module or something that took them a couple weeks to do or something. Like, it was decent for that level. But they missed the big treasure haul in it, and they complained and complained and complained and about not getting any treasure. And so what happens is that I keep it on an index card. And so it just keeps following them around
can
until
use
they
this.
find it. I don't, as long as it's thematic, like if it's something you found in an ocean, under ocean temple or something, and you find it in a volcano, obviously I need to make sure that the treasure matches what would be there. But I use it again. I don't get rid of it. And so when they finally found it, they were like, I thought they would be knocking it, but they were like, oh my god, that is so cool. Like, you know, because some things I just don't have because they're kind of game breaking. And like one of the
Well,
things
this
that it was
stuff will
in
come
there
in
was,
handy.
it's supposed to be like a temporary, quote, quote, temporary magic item that is, it's supposed to be like a sphere of invisibility, which is less than a ring because you were supposed to hold it in your hand and like completely cover it. So it puts limitations on it in that you can't open and close doors. There's a lot of stuff you can't do because if you take your hand off of it, you become visible. You know, it limits it. But it was also limited in the fact that it was like a Christmas ornament, and that it was really thin and really fragile, and you know it's gonna break. That's one of the reasons why it was so cheap. And but the guy that got it loved it, like loved it, and he actually paid a lot of money getting a special case made for it and all kinds of. Did I not mark that door? To try to make it last as long as he could, and then I don't know. He had it for like another 10 levels or something. But no, they loved the pile of treasure, and I was like, well, you know, this not to be game breaking here, but this is what you guys were supposed to find 10 levels ago. Remember in that module that everybody was complaining didn't have any treasure in it, and they were like, oh my god. Like, you know how awesome this would have been to have for 10 levels? Because basically it's a ring of invisibility that you had to use your brain a little bit more when you used it. Like, you had to plan your route, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't just run around invisibly everywhere doing whatever you wanted. You had to wait for guards to go by and stuff for that. It was more time consuming. But after like 10 levels, I told him that the thing was looking all cracked up and stuff, and you know, had hairline fractures, and he was like, but I spent, you know, 10 gold pieces on a case for it and lined in velvet and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know, dude, but that was 10 levels ago. This is literally supposed to be a temporary magic item. I'm just giving you forewarning that the next time you fall and do, you know, roll for falling damage or something, it's going to break. Like, I'm being a good DM and telling you this thing looks like it's way past its life cycle. And he's like, okay, yeah, I get it. I was like, dude, it's a Christmas ornament. You've been carrying in a backpack. You've been fighting dragons in for 10 levels. Okay, like it has seen its day. But one of the reasons I let him have it for so long too is because I was so amused by him
I'm not sure I can carry much
not
more.
being cheesy with it. He respected it. He respected the fact it was fragile, and there were situations where people were like, oh, you know, you should go get it and go into the dragon horde and try to steal stuff or whatever. And he's like, no. That sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard. Go tripping on gold or something and have it go flying across the room and break. Yeah, no.
What are the owners around?
He acted like it was real. I guess that's what I'm saying. And the creative ways he would think to get around problems with it. And not only just problems in the module, but problems with its limitations. I always run odd campaigns. I don't run the campaign of a hobbit, an elf, and a dwarf, and a human, or whatever, meet in a bar. Like, I'm so sick of that. And so they all knew that from me. You know, we had all gamed together for years, and they were clamoring for me to be the next one to DM. And I told them, I was like, you guys know, I don't run normal
I'll
campaigns.
take it.
I don't. I just don't. And I gave him a shakedown of basically what I wanted to do was to have a game where basically everybody was the same race and the same class, so that you were a unit of some type somewhere. I was like, you could be like an army unit, like in the Roman Legion or something. You can be, you know, where you're all soldiers. You can be, the city guard and Waterdeep or something. You could be a sect of priests, or kids at Hogwarts. Like, I want to do something like that where everybody is kind of the same, and you got to kind of overcome
I'll die
that.
if I don't drink soon.
And they were kind of, when I first said it, everybody was kind of against it because everybody wants to be unique. But once they started playing it, they loved it. Like, they said it was the best campaign that they were ever in. They ended up choosing, and I let them all vote on it. I wasn't telling them what they had to do. I thought they were going to go wizard, because that's something usually I have a lot of difficulties. Not me having difficulties, but I put a lot of difficulties on wizards. A lot of games just make them too powerful and so common that they're not unique or mysterious or anything like that. But they went soldier. I was like, wow. I was like, okay. And so I think there were 8 players in the game, and so we had a lot of them. And I was like, okay, 7 of you are going to be soldiers. Okay, 1 of you is going to be a leader. 1 of you is going to be like the sergeant, second in command. You guys can choose who it is. I don't care. It doesn't even have to be the most capable person, because sometimes the least capable person gets promoted. But I was like, and then 1 of you is going to, ooh.
This'll
Yeah.
come in handy.
This one I was starting to get worried. I was like, 1 of you is going to be a specialist. Just like in the army, you have people that, now that, well, 1 of those players actually in the game is like forward recon or something, where he uses drones and stuff to scout the battlefield and kind of goes in forward or in advance of everybody else. He was in that game. He's actually the one that played the specialist too, actually, coincidentally. I hope I didn't inspire his life choices. But he's been in there for a while though. He's been in there, gotta be 10 years. It's been a while. But he likes it, so why not? Okay, let's turn it on. Let's do a torch. I was like, I don't care if it's like a chaplain, and you guys have a priest, or you guys have kind of like a scout rogue, or if you have like a ranger, like woodsman, for tracking and stuff like that. There's all, basically, if you can come up with a reason why you would have that kind of specialist, then that person can be something different. And I let them either choose like a different class or a different race, one or the other, but not both. And so they played they chose thief, and they were kind of using 2nd edition rules, and so there were weapon proficiencies, and they all had to have the same weapon proficiencies, and like nobody had bows to start with, because that's not what they were. You weren't an archery unit. And they all had clubs as a weapon, and they were like, what? Like, everybody was like, because that used to be a big deal.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Because you knew those weapons kind of better. The earlier you knew them. And, but I was like, yeah, sometimes you have civil actions where you have to work as the police, and they don't want you running through civilians with swords. You bust out your nightstick and you go to town. Like, that's what you got to do. And I think they had a spear, which is like short spear, which was basically the best they had for a missile weapon. Shield and sword, I think. And then I think every 3 levels or every other level or something like that, you got a weapon. And after that, I kind of let them choose. There's only boot camp where they really care. Let's search house up on the cliff so we don't forget. That game went on for a very, very long time. very long time. But it was funny because there were all kinds of things different with that game. Like you had to report like your loot because your loot wasn't your loot. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the king's loot. And like 3-4 missions in, I don't know, something like that. The guy that was in charge got promoted or whatever, and he was getting his promotion. His boss was here. His new boss was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, you're the most efficiently run unit out of my whole company." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like all proud and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, other people are constantly hassling me for stuff." He's like, "You people never ask for anything. You are just, you know, you guys are rough riders." And the guy's like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" He's like, "You guys never requisition equipment or armor or horses or anything." he's like, "Wait, what? We could do that?" He's like, "Yeah, you can requisition stuff. That's how the army works."
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
And I had told him that before, but either he wasn't listening or he forgot. And that was my way of reminding him. Like, you guys are awesome. That was a lot of fun.
I could use this.
Come on, give me something good to eat. No, that's not it. That's not it. I didn't even think about that. All this food will probably disappear. It's probably disappearing in there, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's ruined. I don't even know if it shows up to disappear. Yeah, I think it's just disappearing. Basically, if it's not food on the counter, I'm probably not going to find it.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
88%. Yes, sir. We have just found the last coffee on Earth. That coffee will outlive us and this game.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Yeah, but once they figured out that there was all kinds of perks and stuff to being in the army,
I'll take it.
not only be able to requisition resources, but people. You know, that he could ask for other people to guard camp or whatever. That they had troops of other people that could follow him around and do the cooking and take care of the horses and all that kinds of stuff. And just being able to travel in a group of like 30 people. There's a whole lot less wandering encounters, a whole lot less busy work you gotta mess with. Your average band of 10 brigands in the woods spending their Robin Hood aren't gonna mess with you. They stay in the bushes and let you just keep walking by. chips I missed. Yeah, I think the only food I found was on the ground. I think it disappears without showing it to you. Looking up high. Okay. Okay. We're actually gonna have to eat some of this food. Sure. Now we're gonna do the chips.
Barely walk with this much gear. Roll by the homestead here and drop some of this stuff off. Sorry. That one kind of snuck up on me. I've started paying attention. I don't think I found any candy in those mailboxes in a while. There used to be candy bars in there sometimes. I had those been in this truck. Yeah, I read books and stuff in there a lot. Ooh. I'll keep the vitamin C off our back for a little bit. This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Oh yeah, there's 2 more guns books. Okay, I remember we did like a fast, dirty search on this place. I think we didn't do like a looking in every corner kind of search. Oh, we have 2 other cans. They can't be. That one's full. Yeah, these are almost full, I think. I don't know. We'll think on that. Drop the salt. All we got left. It's kind of late. Need fire starting. There's frequently tools and stuff underneath these things. Pry bars and hacksaws mostly.
I think I can use this.
That one's almost full. Get the other one out in a minute.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
I think that we did this pretty good.
Man, if I don't rest soon, I'm gonna faint.
Yeah, ruined. I know I'll put that one there, but let's put it there so we can see it if we need it. If we don't need it, we can put it back later. This house is clear. Alright, let's drop some of this stuff. Nope. We're not solving crime right now, so we'll leave that. Lots of clothes. Sleeve. The empty one. Those. Let's just leave all those. That. That. Oh. Don't need two of those. Kinda don't need that. Oh, we got an extra pan somehow. That. That. Oh, actually. Nah. I don't want to leave my pots here. Do leave some drinking water though. Oh. I'll leave the soda too. Let's just leave a lot of this. Let's go out on the ice. Actually, I need to make sure I take one stick with me. Actually, let's take two. So that I can light a fire. And we will rest out there since we've chalked up some indoor hours cooking that bear today. so. You know, I wonder if this counts as indoor, or like inside or out. Probably outside. Kind of funny though. Could be like an in-between area, you know? We could put a ruined piece of food in there and shut it and open it and see if it disappears like a magic trick. Did I drop it all? Yeah, I dropped it all. We'll see if we can find something. Nice. Somebody freshly cooked it.
Well, this stuff will come in handy. This will come in handy. Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Not seeing anything else. Let's take a couple of these out on the ice with us. Some of our stuff is like 80%. Maybe we'll mend it if we get bored. So, we have been having what has affectionately been dubbed as Squirrel War 3 at my house. Because, an old lady is kind of flipping a house behind us. And her lot runs like through the center of the block. And so, like her lot is really deep and cuts into the block. And, everybody has big yards, but hers is just kind of really long. And, yeah, I still got another house there. Let's go ahead and do it. But, she cut down a whole bunch of trees. Like a whole bunch of trees. Like 20 trees. And, so all the squirrels that used to live there and eat there and everything like that are having to fight for resources. Over in everybody else's yards, and so they've been running around chittering and going crazy and having not so good squirrel running up and down the trees. There is a difference apparently between the playful running that they normally do and when they're chasing people off. But it's funny because a pair of mated hawks, I think. Maybe they're falcons. I don't know. I don't know the difference. But they're not eagles. We do have bald eagles here. I've seen them. But, have taken notice of the abundance of squirrels and them being chased around, agitated, and their calls and everything else. And so they have just been parked at our house for like 3 weeks. So this must be like on a Brazilian steakhouse or something. You just point at your plate and point at the meat, and it falls on it. So they've been over here picking the squirrels clean. And I'm kind of okay with it because the squirrels here are kind of crazy. I used to love squirrels my whole life.
Looks like this has been here a
40
while.
years, whatever. I love squirrels. I didn't have a single problem with them. But the squirrels at the house here, they eat everything. You cannot have patio furniture, rocking chairs, outdoor. Like I bought an outdoor patio box, like one of the big, huge plastic ones, to put the cushions in because they were eating my cushions. And so then they started eating the box. I'm like, oh my god! Like they ate up some of the wiring harness on my truck. They ate up the windshield wiper fluid line on my wife's car, which is like a hard plastic. It was like fiberglass. I mean, they just eat everything. And so now I'm like, go Hawks! You guys are costing me too much money. Too much money. You're cute and I love you guys, but no, you gotta stop this. You gotta at least kill the ones that are eating my stuff. And I kind of, like at first when they were eating my stuff, I was like, it's probably just one miscreant or two miscreants. They'll be dead in a couple years or whatever. And then I read somewhere that squirrels can live for like 30 or 40 years. I'm like, oh my no, you gotta go. Like I thought about putting an ad out in the paper for $1 a head for somebody to come out with a bow or a slingshot or something and kill a bunch of them. Some good old boy would do it, or some teenagers or somebody. It'd probably be teenagers with pellet guns or something. But yeah, somebody would do it. Come earn some money. At this point, I'll just line them up in a row for the falcons. I don't think I missed anything in there. I'll probably end up searching there again anyway, but it'll be alright for now. Yeah, but I just think it's funny that they were fighting so long and so hard with each other, going crazy, and there were so many of them concentrated in one area that hawks have just basically staked the place out. So is it that one with the wood? I think. That seems farther. Yeah, I think it's that one I normally do. Maybe I'll move. It seemed like this one was closer. It's closer to shore, but not with how I usually leave the house. So either I need to leave the house differently or something.
It's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
Alright. Oh, that's kind of pretty. That's different. I don't get a whole lot of hot pink here. Need to see if there's a console command to turn breath off. I'm gonna start doing a series of just like 12-hour videos or whatever of just scenes. Yeah. Put it on a loop. There's some pretty stuff on here. Sit. Yes. Okay. We don't necessarily have to put anything in there. Put this in the other one. Surprised we didn't draw more flies because of that raw rabbit we got on us. It's weird. Okay, we don't want to put food in there. So let's just get off that page before we accidentally do it. Accidentally on purpose. I don't know if that'll throw my thing off or not, so let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of some of these. Okay, let's do this kind of counterintuitively. Let's 2. Yeah, we're warm. Barely, but warm. Yeah, I thought with all that pink it was going to be an aurora. Okay, so let's drink. Get rid of this. And we need to catch a bait fish as soon as possible.
Cold. Think of fire.
Major source. That is a big old fish right there. He's not a bait fish. That one, yes.
And this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Actions. Harvest. Three pieces of bait. So we get to catch 3 fish. 1. 2. The ugly fish. 3. Okay. This guy does not have vitamin C. 15 pieces of bait though. Holy crap, that is a lot. What about his friend? 10. Okay, we'll do that one. Don't know if I felt like hanging out long enough to do that other one.